Capricorn. This is Wishko the Ferret. Thanks for hopping into the Ferret Den. We're keeping things warm and we're keeping things cozy. Today we have a reading for March 13th to the 19th. And before we get into it, I just wanted to say that I am working on launching a Patreon late March, early April. So if you like my style and if you think I'm cool, go ahead and like and subscribe so that way you don't miss any content from me. And also you can keep up to date with my Patreon. So, drop into your heart space, Capricorn. Let the dust physically, spiritually, and emotionally settle around and within you so that you can determine which messages are for you and which messages are for other people. Call in your spirit team, call in your angels, your guides, your ancestors, loved ones, whoever you work with. And while you're settling into your space and connecting with your intuition, I will say my prayer. So thank you, Archangel Michael. Thank you to the highest love and light for surrounding us with a bubble of protection at this time. Thank you for keeping my energy clear of any negative influences. Thank you for allowing me to connect strictly with the energy of Capricorns, sun, moon, or risings. Whoever feels called to this reading at this time for the week of March 13th to the 19th, thank you. Spirit wants to thank you for sharing your message with the world. That's kind of, they're indicating like a form of celebration. They're giving me Three of Cups vibes where they're like, woo, like, you know, thank you. So they really want to thank you for sharing your message. You've been putting in the work, Capricorn. Thank you, spirit team. Thank you, angels, for connecting with the highest love source, the highest truth, the highest light. So what are some current energies for Capricorn at this time? One just wanted to fly out. Okay, so I keep seeing the color green for some of you, or like Spirit just said greenscape. I don't know if green is like a... I just heard it's like an individual mention, so maybe like for very few of you. This could be related to money. This could be related to like a favorite color that you have. And it's going to go, it's easier. Okay. So in terms of your current energies, so the lens that I'm viewing this through is for the Astro Dice. You have the Moon, Cancer, and the 6th house. This is sorry, it's always weird for me to say 6th house because it's 6th house. So many awkward sounds in there. But essentially, this is a very highly intuitive time for you, and Cancer is the feelings of deep hurts or deep sensitivities. Not necessarily related to icky feelings, but it could be that you're very sensitive at this time. You're very sensitive feeling at this time. You might find yourself very happy one second, and then like the next day you might have like, I don't know, the one thing could set you off and you're just a sobbing mess. That just happens when you're in tune with the moon. That just happens when you're in tune with your intuition. It's nothing to be afraid of, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It happens to the best of us. I think this is being shown the most often in your work week at this time. So maybe in terms of your work habits, it could be just in your regular habits at home. This is just in terms of like your daily routines. It is the work house. So again, this could be work, this could be habits within the home or outside of the home, just whatever general. I'm feeling this is like a general life. I mean, it is like our health and wellness house as well. So definitely I just feel like this is all around in whatever stead that you're in. You're just feeling a lot of sensitivities at this time. The current energies here, you have Knight of Cups. I feel like, I don't want to say you're fumbling, but with the Knight of Cups, you are kind of at the start of discovering something, like with your like emotions. There's something here that your intuition is calling you to explore. It could be exploring this new relationship with a person. It could be exploring like new thoughts and ideas on something. I don't get that it's thoughts and ideas because that's more sword energy, but it feels like there's like, I'm hearing there's like, you're about to explore something and it's very meaningful for your development. Spirit just said it's like a core component to a great power that you have. And while I probably won't dive into what that great power is at this time unless Spirit wants to come through with it, it's something that has yet to be discovered, and it's something that it's not like the way that I said that is really cryptic, but if you write that down, like whatever you're exploring with your emotions now is going to be a core component of your power. It's something that you'll be able to connect with and have it click through hindsight after you have learned it and once you are living it. So if you still feel called, definitely write that down so you can so that you can connect those two. I'm trying to see something else. So I feel like some of you could also be, there's like a little bit of tension here. I feel like I heard, okay, and this sounds actually really bad, but like the way that Spirit just kind of said this was that there's something about you that feels almost odd or eccentric, or kind of like maybe you feel like a freak. That's kind of what Spirit came through with, was that there's kind of the energy, there's like another energy being presented to you. Someone literally just said, come join me, freak. And it feels like it's all fun and games, but at the same time, I also feel like there's like a hint of somebody who's trying to put you down or doesn't see you in a positive light, but because you have something to offer, it's almost like, I don't know if it's like an insecurity on their end, but it's almost like, I don't know, I really just feel like there's some kind of jealousy here, or there's some kind of sweeping motions that people are putting over you, that it's like, oh, like we don't care about that person, they're a freak or whatever, or they're eccentric, like they're, and it's almost like you're exploring, I don't know if you're exploring, like there's just something that you're engaged with, or there's something that you're getting involved with and you're not really sure how you feel about it yet, or you're just exploring it. Maybe you're very hopeful about it, but I don't know if it's like joining a new job or a new relationship, or I'm hearing that whatever, Spirit just said current events, so apply it as you see fit, but it feels like there are just not nice energies at play, but for whatever reason, I feel like Spirit is not really calling attention to that. I think they're just calling attention to like the confirmation of it, and saying that you know that there's something a little off or edgy about either like the other relationships that you are in, like the people that you work with or the people that you're being introduced to, or like the person that you started to see or are seeing or something. There's something here about the other energy and how they're not quite valuing you fully, but they understand the things that you could create and produce and the things you could give them. And it's not so much as like you don't really care that they're taking advantage of you, because you are also getting something out of it in a sense. I don't know. This doesn't, it feels like, I just heard someone say something about a party. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know. It's not that I don't like this energy too much, because there will be people in our lives that do that and that say those types of things. But, and it could be in a very lighthearted way. This could be like a buddy that you have that could be like one of those, like, you know, like the kind of buddies that trash on each other type of vibe, if you know what I'm saying. And I understand that I come from a family like that too, where we're just always dogging on one another. But it just feels like you're kind of exploring this dynamic, or you're exploring how I hear for some of you it is quite the fright. We're just kind of exploring this and figuring out if this is something that's really for you, or you're discovering like more values about yourself, or you're discovering some innate tendency that you have, but that's after the fact. So what else do we have for this week? Let's dig deeper. We have the Hierophant. The Hierophant here is, I'm hearing that the Hierophant is a situation that's being called to your attention. This could be in terms of the systems and the rules that are already in place, and like Spirit wanting you to abide by them, or just in general, just it feels like there are rules and stuff to abide by. So just sticking with the rules, sticking with what's already put in place would actually serve you pretty well. Also, the Eight of Wands, which is staying focused. Staying focused on whatever endeavor or whatever the work actually is. Staying focused on whatever you wish to create, if this is outside of the work sphere. Staying focused on those things and really just harrowing it down. Like, I don't know why like that's coming through like that, but it's really just staying focused, being sharp. Spirit says it's very important to be sharp and to stay focused during this week. Sticking to the rules, staying focused, and not really delineating from that box just yet. Like really, I don't want to say just yet, but really just staying focused and staying It might feel like you're kind of crammed into these rules and it kind of feels a little bit stuffy, but just stay focused, work through it, so that you can get used to it and you can sort, like, so the Knight of Cups, usually the Knight of Cups is a pretty slow knight in the tarot because it takes them some time to, like, get acquainted with their emotions and to figure out the emotional playing field that they're working at. And I feel like you just need to give that Knight, like, that Knight of Cups energy in you some time to explore. And I heard Spirit is like, it's kind of like also so that you can save face is what Spirit's telling me. So definitely stay focused, stick to the rules. That way you can sort out, like, you know, how you're feeling and, like, you know, what you want, the things that you want to manifest. Really get a hold and get a grip of your emotions here. So for challenges, you have the Seven of Wands. So Seven of Wands is kind of like staving off other energies at this time. Staving off, like, it really just feels like it's very defensive. It's in the defense. So a challenge here would be, like, defending yourself properly. The Hierophant also does speak of having boundaries too. So maybe you need to put up some of those boundaries in order to, I'm hearing politely put up those boundaries. So again, this does sound like a work situation, but it doesn't have to be particularly related to work. It could be in the home if you're putting up boundaries with yourself as well, but politely. Like, you don't have to bring yourself down by putting up these boundaries. You don't have to, like, tear anybody else down by putting up these boundaries, but really make sure you just have them up so that you're set. And, you know, it's hard for you not to be defensive. It's hard for you to, like, it's really hard. It might seem kind of aggressive when you come across. So being polite might actually be very hard right now. And maybe defending yourself can be quite the challenge because you, like, on one, it's kind of a complicated situation, I feel. Like, on one, it almost reminds me of the situation where, like, you want to be polite, but at the same time, the other person is being incredibly rude. And you don't really want to get involved, but at the same time, you're like, but you're being a jackass. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry for swearing, but, like, it's just like, but you don't want to tell them that because you know it'll set them off. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like a weird vibe. For the Devil card here in your challenges, it's also just, wow, so interesting. I'm hearing from Spirit that you're trying to construct a way out. And part of you, okay, so if you feel, so it's kind of like whatever Spirit is advising is like the opposite of what you're thinking. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I need to devise a way out of this, if you're just entered something and you're trying to devise a way out, Spirit's cautioning against that at the present moment because you're, like, giving too much control to the other parties. You're giving too much control to the thing or the energy that you have to defend yourself against, because Spirit wants you to, if you're trying to construct a way out, they want you to do it for the right reasons. They don't want you to do it just because there are these other energies that could actually be ignored if you train yourself to ignore them, because they seem kind of variable. These other energies feel temporary. I'm not saying, like, they're destined to leave or whatever if this is a job and you're dealing with coworkers that are just annoying, but I feel like there's some type of, like, there's a rumble and then, like, after a while it'll settle and, like, you'll get used to things. Or that there's a rumble and then, like, something will happen or Spirit will do something and it will just even out. And you have a keen sense of self-awareness for this too. The Queen of Cups, I feel like that's, like, with the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck, I really do feel like you have the emotional intelligence to kind of sit there and be like, okay, I understand what these other parties or what these other energies are dealing with. I understand, like, what I'm dealing with here, in terms of, like, if this is dealing with the self. This is the kind of stuff, like, I just heard someone say, I ain't gonna take no crap. So if that's you, hey, go Capricorn, like, go you. You're not afraid to start a little bit of something to defend yourself or to defend your truth, and that's great. But the message here that Spirit is saying is that, like, okay, if you're devising a way out, then, I mean, either way is fine, but they just want to make sure that you're leaving for the right reasons, is all they're saying on that. What's going to make your life easier or the way forward right now? What's going to make your life easier the way forward right now? The sun is all about optimism. The sun is all about keeping the sun shining all on your face despite these clouds that roll by. I feel like it's so easy to focus on these rain clouds of these other energies. I don't know. I just feel like these other energies are kind of stuffing up the sun here, but they're not really in the place of your sun. Like, they're surrounding the sun, but they're not actually covering up your sun. You're still getting the sun's rays, and you still have a choice to choose to focus on something else. What's going to make your life easier is if you focus on this new beginning or this new start, or you focus on whatever this new thing is in your life, in your new passions or whatever, and just ignore the bogus, ignore the BS. Like, ignore the rain clouds, because you have, like, way more strong of an umbrella than they have rain. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're tiny, teeny clouds. Spirit is showing me, like, a big sky. There's a huge sun, like, on the sun card, and it feels like there are tiny little dark puffball clouds that are trying to rain on your parade, but they don't really have enough rain to do it. And you have a very strong umbrella anyway, so you're because of that Queen of Cups that we showed you earlier, it's like you have the equipment to deal with it, and it's like, whatever. Like, I don't even think it's worth, like, leaning on. Like, I don't even think it's worth, like, mentioning anymore. We also have the Death card here, which is what's going to make your life easier is kind of stepping into this new space of being able to. So, Spirit said do away with old habits. You also have the Five of Swords here. So these two together make me feel like you are kind of standing up for your truth and speaking up for your truth. And you can also do that by being silent too. I mean, some of you I feel like are really being called to say, shut up. Like, literally Spirit just came through and said, shut up. Like, I just, dang, okay. So it could be that. But you know what? The true mark of strength is from somebody who is unbothered. And that's not to say that you can't speak up, but I also want to provide an alternative for people who don't feel that that's the case. When they think it's just nothing but unnecessary stuff that, you know, if they say something, it's going to be worse. Speaking up with your boundaries, I think, is important for you. Speaking up with your boundaries. The Five of Swords can also be somebody who stands so silent and strong that nothing can knock them down. And when these little tiny rain clouds find that they can't rain on your parade, eventually they do walk away because they like to feel like they have power over you. So you don't, like, this dude in front, he doesn't have to wield his swords. The reason why I'm saying, like, it's important to speak up and use words, but at the same time, I'm also feeling like you don't need to do much. You don't need to put forth all of this energy. You don't even need to take a swing. Like, because of the Five of Swords, I really do feel like this guy did not use swords at all. He literally just stood there. It was his posture. Like, Spirit literally just said his posture. So it's going to be how you stand and how you carry yourself that's going to kind of mess with everyone else a little bit, or mess with those other energies. Standing strong in the face of, even if you're not dealing with other people, standing strong in the face of other negative influences in your life, they find that they can't suck energy from you, and then, like, because you're so used to putting your attention on something else, those things fade away. Also, negative energies that have that conscious thought or desire to leech energy off of you and or to make themselves feel bigger by being mean or upsetting to you in any way, even if it's not intentional or conscious, they literally, like, they can just, they do go away if they don't get that from you. And they want you to play victim, you know, they can make you play victim, but eventually it will even out, it'll go away. You know, or something like whatever this, if this is a buddy thing, I'm not really getting this vibe anymore, but if it was like a buddy thing of constantly dogging on somebody else, I really do feel like it's I don't know. I feel like I'm not getting anything for that because that's just not what it is. But if that's the case for some of you, then I really feel like you're just going to get used to it and that it's going to be fun for you. It's going to be something that fills you up. But definitely don't let it come to that if your energy doesn't sit with that, because I really don't feel like that's the message. But because I had said it before, I felt the need to follow up on it. I really do feel like some of these energies are just straight up mean. So, or just like they want to make themselves feel bigger. But, you know, that being said, let's go into this. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Y'all, literally the last reading or two had this same card. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. I just heard Spirit say shake things up a little bit. Shake things up a little bit. I really do feel like things are shaking up. Things are not looking the way that you thought they were. They're not fully golden. They're not fully what you expected them to be, but it's kind of what you're dealing with, and I think you have what it takes to get through it, but you have your own groundwork that you're going through. I think you are This energy just feels very uplifting, and that you're being held and that you're being cared for by the divine. That it's all happening in accordance with your sacred plan and your journey on earth. I feel like this is something that is kind of written in, something that you're going to get used to dealing with, and something that you're going to be able to handle very well when it does show up to you next, and it's going to make you all that more powerful. Inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Really trust your gut and your instincts on whatever's coming to you this week. So relying on your intuition in terms of what to do, what to say, how to say it, the kinds of boundaries to have, the kinds of exploring that you need to do, the kind of focus you need to have. Tuning into your intuition is going to help move you forward, and Spirit said you will succeed. They just told me the words, you will succeed. You have new life. Some of you are coming into this new life. Capricorn, you're on. You're really embracing this new life right now. I love that for you. This is a new life. So, and again, the sun is about embracing a new beginning as well. So, being born again, especially with death, you are literally like closing the door and you are stepping into a new life. So, really, like, just focusing on the excitement and the love and the light of that all, tuning into that vibration rather than all of the other icky vibrations around you. Like, that's something that I think is going to help you move forward this time. That's something that's going to make this week a lot easier for you. It's embracing this new life. You have this, literally, Spirit just said, you have this uncanny ability to just ignore people. So, I don't know. They said what they said and they meant it. Go the distance. Go the distance means you're in it for the long haul. So really take the time and the energy to focus on that. I really feel like this is vibing hard with that 8 of Wands energy that we also have in your current energies. Keeping your focus and going strong, being in it for the long haul, and making sure that whatever your goals or your plans are, that you're sticking through them till the end, because the rewards are far greater than the challenges that you're experiencing now. And you won't regret just like, you won't regret, standing stock still and waiting for, it's not like you're waiting specifically for all of the ickiness to go away, but you're really sticking to your choice on this. And I don't know, that's very powerful and that's very commendable, because a lot of people aren't able to do that. Move. I literally said stock still, and I wanted to correct myself, but I was like, you know what? They get what I mean, because you also have move. A rolling stone gathers no moss. So make sure that your movement is intentional, actually. Make sure that your movement, moving is intentional. So every action that you take in terms of going for your goal and in staying focused, make sure that this week everything is spoken and done with intention. There's something here about a fright or something about frightening you. Don't let anything frighten you, okay? Don't let anything frighten you. Just keep moving at your steady, calm pace, and you will get where you need to go. Trust it. Believe it. Spirit is literally just I literally have Naruto on my shirt. If y'all seen the show, literally, Dattabayo means believe it. It's like his own made-up word thing where he's just constantly, believe it, I'm going to become Hokage, like whatever the case may be. Like, Spirit is literally saying, speak it with tact. Say everything that you're saying and do everything that you're doing with purpose and believe it. Dattabayo. Like, get down to the core and the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing and stick to it. Okay, so that being said, Capricorn, I'm going to roll the angel dice for you from Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray. And we'll see what we're working with here. 169. This is going to be the last message before I send you on your way. So we'll see what we got. Taking time to connect with and honor your emotions is important at this time. Your angels adore you. Literally echoing what the Knight of Cups is saying about reflecting on your emotions and truly getting, understanding the layout of the playing field, and then checking in with your emotions to see how you can handle it and how you can handle it better. So let me say that one more time. Taking time to connect with and honor your emotions is important at this time. Your angels adore you. So with that being said, Capricorn, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for letting me connect with your energy, and thank you to your guides and angels. Thank you to my guides and angels for connecting with this energy and for helping me channel. I really appreciate you being here. Again, if this is your vibe, go ahead, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if it resonates with you, if that's something you feel called to do. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Love you.